My name is Tracy Ariel, and I am unapologetically Canadian. And it's now mid-February. I cannot believe it's February 17th already, 2020. And last week was the Entrepreneur Experience here in Montreal. Or, well, actually, it's called Expo Entrepreneurial Feb. And it was amazing to be in a room with so many extraordinary entrepreneurs. There were 5,000 people who participated, tons of different booths, including some really interesting ones, including Shopping Road, which we'll be investigating using for the co-op. They're really looking for independent organizations to connect to so that they can encourage people to shop locally. So that could be really cool for cause. I also saw something called Recharge with a J, which is this little booth that you go into and you actually get to have a massage in a chair and a headset that has this wonderful music on. And we got a 10-minute trial of that. Apparently, Desjardins and Cirque du Soleil already have these little booths in their offices, and this startup company that started this project, was hoping that they would be used about 5 hours a day, and it turns out they're being used in an average 8 hours a day because when you have it in your office, they recommend 25-minute sessions, and apparently people are keen to use them, and they use them all the time. So that was a fun company to meet. It's really just gets to show you that the entrepreneurial life in Canada is growing so quickly. And I'm also really excited because I just finished interviewing Jeanette Anderson, who's going to be on my podcast 2 episodes from now. Uh, Actually, no, I think she'll be on next week. And she talks about an entrepreneurial journey that's just been fascinating and turning. She talks about the difference between a business as a freelancer and a business where you actually have products that you sell. And I think that's a really cool differentiation between those kinds of two things. And obviously, I'm trying to work on, as a creative entrepreneur, I've always had products to sell, but I haven't sold my time per hour as much. But my products have always been so inexpensive, and now I'm creating products that are worth a little bit more so that I can have a bit more of a hierarchy between one-on-one, very expensive working on a book together projects, which can go up to $10,000 or $12,000, and a book, which is only a $20 investment with me. So now I'm creating courses. Some of you are already in the Profile Your Business course. This cohort is going through the course right now. It's very exciting to see how people are doing with that, and I'm looking forward to the next launch, which will probably be in May. Also working on the Profile Your Ancestor course, which will be coming out next month. Looking forward to having a cohort working on that and working on their family histories, because I think that that's going to be very exciting as well. So all in all, and we just finished with the co-op. We did our first winter film night. So we actually, after it gets dark in the greenhouse, of course, the sky is dark, so you can actually show films. And that's one of the few things we can do in the winter there, because it's only 10 degrees, and so people can bundle up under covers to watch a film. And we did the first one with Ciné Verdun on Saturday, and the next one is going to be on the 29th of February. I'm so looking forward to that. And actually, another one of our members, Steve Moss from Group Demasi, has decided to do a Conversations Over Coffee film night on this Saturday, the 22nd. So we're really looking forward to working with them as well. And so that's what's happening in my life at the moment. I just sent off an email because Cornell Schreiber, who does the Build Wealth Canada podcast, has agreed to come on to this podcast to talk about the financial summit, and just in time for tax season. So that will be coming up as well. I'm looking forward to presenting that. And other than that, I guess the thing that I've been thinking about lately, as you know from my last podcast, I've been really trying to be strategic about my growing my businesses this year, and so I am still working a bit on the business plans, but I've got a lot more strategic about how I want people to work with me and how things are going to be moving forward. I still have some work to do on that clearly, but it's going well so far. And so, if you have any tips about how entrepreneurs can set up uh, an authentic marketing strategy that feels really good as a client. That's my goal, is that every time you get something from me, you feel like this is a fun person that you want to connect with. Whether you actually work with me or whether you just use some of my free resources or whether you just get a laugh because my emails are so funny. Um, that would be really a lot of fun. And so, if you're not getting my email now, I encourage you to sign up for the Notable Nonfiction email. I just give you an update on what's going on in my life, and usually there is it's a weekly update now. I've since the beginning of the year, I've been sending it out weekly, and basically, I just try to give you the update on the whether you're a family history, whether you're a creative entrepreneur, what's going on in Montreal and in Canada and in the world that you should pay attention to. And if you were part of it last week, you know that I talked about Marie Forleo's B School launch. I am a B School advocate. I love that program, and I'm going to be doing it again starting next week. As a matter of fact, right now, all of us who are registered for B School are doing something called Start the Right Business, which helped me get really focused last year. I'm going to do the work again. I guess the next thing that I should talk about is Danny Inney is going to be doing his Lift uh, conference here in Montreal in April. So if you're a creative entrepreneur and you want to join me at that, I'll put the link down below so that you can sign up for that. It's so wonderful being in a room with creative entrepreneurs for the most part, and many of us are introverts. At that particular conference, they give you a name badge, which includes whether you're an introvert, an extrovert, or something in between. So that when people see someone who's an introvert sitting in the corner with their headphones on, you know not to bother them because they just need a little bit of space and time. And or they might just, if they see someone who has an introvert pass on and they're just standing there alone with their coffee, maybe they'll go over and say hello. It just means that we can all care for each other and make the space a little bit more welcoming and wonderful. I just love Denny Anney for that innovation. So if you're not getting Aerial View, my newsletter, I would appreciate you signing up. And if you are getting it, let me know more what you would like to see more of. And thanks very much for being part of my community. I really think that truth and accuracy count, and that's what notable nonfiction is all about. So, and obviously, it's Canada's time for creating. Take care.